Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to take you guys through the best Steam game deals that are available right now under the price of $10. These are directly from Steam, no third-party e-tailer, some great deals available. We've got 10 to go over, so let's get right into it. Not going to go under $5, but nonetheless, a lot of great stuff here. So, first of all, we have Kingdom Come Deliverance, where the base game is 80% off for $5.99. I would highly recommend you to spend the extra $2 and get the Royal Edition for $7.99. That's actually like a very, very good deal. A disgustingly good deal, to be perfectly honest. This is a game that went a little bit under the radar. I mean, I don't know how fair it would be to say it went under the radar. It came out back in 2018, and I think it took a lot of people's attention by the visuals. It looked great from that standpoint, but also, if you're into the historic thematics, I think you're going to enjoy it a lot. I think that is really going to be the element of the game that needs to hook you. If you like this setting, if you like what it's going for from a story standpoint and whatnot, I think you'll ultimately enjoy the game. Was I crazy about the gameplay? No, but I did think it was an engaging enough RPG from a story standpoint and a content standpoint that overall made it a compelling playthrough. And again, the Royal Edition gives you a lot of bonus content for $7.99. Again, I think that's a great deal. Next up, we got Disco Elysium, the final cut, 75% off for $9.99. Man, this is an interesting game to recommend because everybody knows the controversy that's attached to this game. You know, I like to assess the game for what it is, and what the game is one of the best narrative-driven games that you can come across. When you talk about video game writing, it does not get better than Disco Elysium. This game is so well thought out and so meticulously designed from a narrative standpoint that I found it incredibly engaging. Now, it does have a little bit of a slow start, and I've recommended this game to a couple of my boys, and they just could not get into it because, again, it is this methodical, narrative-driven adventure. You gotta know what you're getting yourself into, of course, with Disco Elysium, but if you're into story-driven games, and again, with this one, such a great atmosphere, a lot of decision-making, really relying on that decision-making, it's a fantastic game. All things considered, at $9.99 is a pretty good pickup for it. Next up, we got Dying Light, the Definitive Edition, 80% off for $9.99. Man, Dying Light is an awesome game, and most people would say that Dying Light 1 is a better game than Dying Light 2, and I certainly do agree with that notion. In fact, they just kicked off another event for Dying Light 1. I didn't even know that this was happening for the 9-year anniversary of the game. That's hilarious. Techland v Techland with how they keep this game still kicking. But it's a great open world parkour survival horror game. A lot of great gameplay and very, very enjoyable. Visually, it's great. Runs on the Steam Deck well, so definitely worthwhile. It's definitely a game that should be in everybody's PC library. Just a fantastic game all around. Next up, Slay the Spire, 66% off for $8.49. This is a game that I picked up at the tail end of its early access period, and I remember just picking it up on a whim. I saw the reception was really strong, and I was like, yeah, the game's coming out of early access. The price is gonna go up. Let me just pick it up and see how it is. You know, the description of the game was really jarring to me. A card game fused with a roguelike, like, what's going on here? And I didn't really, I was like, yo, maybe people are hyping this up a little bit too much. But then I played the game, and I didn't quite get the hype of the game in the initial portion, and then you keep playing the game, and you realize there's a ridiculous amount of depth to it, and it's a super addicting game. If you're remotely into card games, or just, you know, games that make you think a little bit, Slay the Spire has so much depth to it that doesn't come to the surface right when you start the game. It's when you play it for a little while that really comes to the table. I have friends that have sunk hundreds of hours into this game, and Slay the Spire's a game that has a really strong community. For $8.49, again, I just think it's a great pickup, and I would strongly recommend it at this price point. Definitely give that a look. Next up, we got Ghostrunner. This is 70% off for $8.99. Man, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Ghostrunner because I'm gonna be real, this game damn near made me break my controller multiple times. It's one of those games that is very satisfying to play, but at the same time, it is pretty challenging in the sense that it's super based on precision and timing, and those elements make the game incredibly rewarding as well. But ultimately, it is an enjoyable game. The soundtrack is fantastic, and again, it's a super rewarding experience. They obviously just dropped a sequel in Ghostrunner 2, incredibly well received there, but certainly play the first one. The story's decent, albeit a little bit predictable, but definitely give that a look at $9. Next up, We got Naruto Storm 4, $7.99. I mean, these arena fighters are always a pretty good time if you are a fan of the anime. Bandai Namco is about to put out Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash, which is going to follow a similar style focused on 2v2 battles. But Naruto Storm 4, I thought was fairly enjoyable. Had a story mode that was rather engaging and goes through the entirety of the, or, you know, it goes up to the end of the main Naruto anime, and then, you know, there is a Boruto expansion, but, well, we don't like to talk about Boruto in these parts. Nonetheless, I thought Naruto Storm 4 was an enjoyable game. If you're just looking to kick it and play an arcadey fighter, you're gonna get that with Storm 4, and I would pick it up at this price point. Next up, from Obsidian Entertainment, we have Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, 75% off for $9.99. A fantastic isometric RPG. Some people prefer Pillars of Eternity 1, some people prefer 2. They're both really solid games. This one is very story-driven, has a nice setting to it as well, and if you want an engaging RPG, that's a little bit of a throwback. Pillars of Eternity 2 will certainly offer you that. They do have the Obsidian edition with the DLC. That is $14.99, so might be a decent pickup to look at that. And Obsidian at this point, they're not working on Pillars of Eternity 3, but they are working on Avowed, which really interesting. Interested to see how that game ultimately turns out. Should be out by the end of this year. Kind of mixed on my hype level for that. I'm really hoping it turns out well, and Obsidian is super talented, so I imagine it will be alright. But yeah, for now, Pillars of Eternity 2, $10 for that is great. Next up, Quantum Break is 75% off for $9.99. Now, this is a game that was just an abomination of a PC port when it came out, but remember, Quantum Break, when it dropped, it was one of those games that was only on the Windows Store initially, and, you know, Xbox threw in the towel on that. Like, come on, man, the Windows Store, like, let's be real here, that ain't gonna work out. This is done by Remedy and has some great visuals, and the gameplay is pretty good, and the story is definitely compelling. This game had a gigantic budget attached to it, where I believe it was supposed to be this really big universe, and that ultimately didn't pan out, but it's still a worthwhile playthrough. I'm not gonna say drop $40 on it, which it's its standard price, but $9.99, I think that's a decent pickup. Next up, we have the Ascent, which is 70% off for $8.99. A pretty good top-down cyberpunk action shooter. I had a good time with this game. Don't expect something blow-away, but I thought from a narrative standpoint, a gameplay standpoint especially, the game was pretty good. I thought the setting was decent. $8.99 for it, I think, is a solid pickup, and it does have online co-op play if you do have a buddy that's willing to pick it up as well. And lastly, gotta give us a shout to our favorite publisher in Capcom. 67% off is Monster Hunter World for $9.89. I mean, think what you want of Capcom at this point, but Monster Hunter World is a tremendous game with a lot of depth to its gameplay, a lot of content, and a lot of replayability. No, Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be coming out in 2025, but that's still a ways away. I believe it's, they haven't announced the window for that game. I imagine it'll be early 25. We're supposed to get more information this summer, but for now, Worlds is still a solid playthrough and a game that you can get a lot of time out of, so definitely clear up the calendar for that. But that is going to do it for me. Again, as always, links to all of these deals will be in the description box below. Go check it out there as well, but that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.